Live. Going live.
Is the loading thing going?
Yeah, it should be. I don't know why it's not.
Go ahead. You're gonna sync up. Get ready. We're starting in 30 seconds. And apparently, I think on YouTube you can hear me, but you can't see me yet. But we're going to rock this thing once this intro goes. So it's going to be pretty awesome. Can they see me? Listen. Awesome. Oh, I love this time of year. You know what one of the biggest lies that we are told over and over and over and over, and I think it's one of these big challenges, big hurdles that we face as real estate entrepreneurs is you need to have work-life balance, right? We hear it all the time. You have to have work-life balance. There's no point in going out there and being financially free and doing really well with your business and growing and developing if you're not happy, right? If you're not fulfilled, if you're not working on your purpose, right? I mean, if you're going after your passion, yeah, that's cool, but are you going after your purpose? You need to have work-life balance. And I'm here to challenge that. I'm here to challenge that big time. And this is something, Raph, that Tom Kroll posted, and I kind of did some research on it, and I love this. It's not about work-life balance. It's about harmony. It's about harmony on all the different parts of you, right? That's the important thing. That's the thing that really makes sense, because listen, the people that talk about work-life balance are not entrepreneurs. Because what happens if your work is your life? What happens if you're pushing towards this purpose that you have, this service that you want to provide your community, right? All of these goals that you have. Well, why do you even have goals? We know statistically that like 90% of people on planet Earth never write down their goals, right? Why is that? Well, they want work-life balance. Everything can just kind of come and go, right? You get into a certain situation, you do your best at it, and that's your life. And you just, you have kids, you have a family, you do the vacation thing, you do the holidays thing, and life's good, right? But we're built different. So what happens if you're built different? I mean, honestly, that has been a struggle that I've been looking at for a long, long time, not coming from a family of entrepreneurs. You know what I mean? Like, and then going in and reading about everything and really studying and going through personal development and really trying to accomplish the goals that I set for myself, whether it was when I was young and it was with school and athletics and the ladies, whatever it was, there was goals there. And then you start understanding that if I go out there and I'm providing value, I can get equal amount of income based on the value that I'm providing out there. But there's not balance. There's no balance. Let me tell you right now, when you get obsessed with building your business for providing something to the marketplace, there is not balance, but there absolutely can be harmony with all these different things. Check this out. Look, this is us, right? This is you. This is you right here. Financial. These are the different sections that we have here. The financial and career. Obviously, I put it up the top here because we're real estate entrepreneurs. Mental and education. Physical and health, social and cultural, spiritual and ethical, family and home. How do you balance all these things? There is no balance. There can only be harmony. So how do you find that harmony? How do you understand that all of these things can work together? First is understanding that there is no balance. All right, just throw that out. And then stop beating yourself up for working hard. Stop beating yourself up for having goals that other people have. Stop beating yourself up by people telling you, whoa. You need to really make sure that you're taking care of your family and you're being around and you're showing up and doing all those things. And I encourage that in harmony. I encourage all that. Listen, there's a reason I don't travel. I've got young kids and it is insane at my house. So I would travel and everything got unharmonious for sure, right? It was a mess. It was like coming in, going out, and then it throws off the schedule for everything. And we have to find, I need to find people for air cover for my wife so that kids can get to school. The whole thing, everything was a mess. So I built this. That's harmony. You know what I mean? I built a studio so that I could come to everybody. That's just a little example there, but there's certain things that you can do that give you that harmony in your life, in your business. All right? But listen, I don't mind if I'm standing on the phone talking to a student while my son's there watching me. I want that. I'm texting him and, he must be on his phone playing with it. No, I'm comping a property right now for somebody in Tennessee. And I want my sons to see this because it's showing that I'm providing value. They're seeing this. And they're seeing that I'm happy, and they see that I'm there, and they see that I'm in the vicinity. That is harmony, right? So this is what I'm talking about. Look at all this and understand. Don't beat yourself up for this whole life balance. There's going to be a time, especially as you're new, especially as you're building your business, where you're going at a furious pace. There is a fire inside your belly. There are stars in your eyes that cannot be dampened. They cannot be just muted, right? It's inside you. And if you try to do that, you're going to you feel like, oh my gosh, I'm trapped in whatever situation I'm in, right? But if you go out there and you let that fire go, and you go and go and go, remember, hustle is a season. It's not a lifestyle. It's a season. So as you're building this business, go after it. Go crazy. Go bananas for it. Understand that you are going to be pushing, but have that harmony. Make sure that you're exercising. Make sure that you're reading good things. Make sure that you're surrounding yourself with great people. Make sure that you're going out there and you're connecting with your faith. Make sure that you're there with your family and building a wonderful relationship with the people that you love. Of course. Harmony, harmony, harmony. But don't beat yourself up for going out there and hustling. All right? Now, as we are transitioning here, this is the last month. We got 31 more days of 2021, which is crazy. We're getting into 2022. And here's an exercise that I want you to do. It starts with step one. Step one is you need to write. This isn't mental. You need to take a pen and a pad of paper or a notebook or a journal or something, and you need to describe and be proud of the person you are at the end of 22, at the end of next year, right? That's where you need to go. What are you going to accomplish? And you got to write it as if you've already accomplished it. I've already made this amount of money. I've already lost this amount of weight. I've ran this race. I have done this with my family. I have gone here with my church. I have done these things, right? All of it has to be written out as if you've already accomplished it, because our subconscious mind can't tell the difference between reality and what we put in there, what's imaginary. So it starts with our subconscious mind, because our subconscious mind is that little seed that pokes us all the time when we're awake. And it's like, oh, here we go. We got to get to work. We got to do this. This is what we got to work on. This is what we got to focus on, right? It starts with that little seed inside of our brain, that subconscious mind. And if we put it in there as if we've already accomplished it, our brain can't tell the difference. And if our brain can't tell the difference, you stand up taller. You have taller posture. You have clarity. You have discipline. Right? That is what's so incredible. So step number one is you have to write out what you've done already, as if you've already accomplished it for this year, for 2022, right? So you write this. I am so proud of what I've done in 2022. I am so proud of what I have accomplished. Boom, 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 boom. All 6 phases, right? All of them. All 6 phases you can write that on. What have you accomplished in all 6 phases of your life? For real. And then you write that down, and then you put it, and the most important thing is you read it every single day. You read it every single day. It's reps, it's reps, it's reps, it's reps. That's how you build the confidence. Next, boom, step 2. We got to break it down. It's time to break it on down. Because listen, the problem is a year seems far. And a year is like, oh my gosh, okay, well, a year, I can do so many things. I got so much time. But if you're like me, you do things when they need to be done. Right? It's like right in front of your face. You're in the whirlwind. You're like going, okay, I'm going to get this thing done. But if it's a year out, oh, I don't have to have that great of a first quarter. My second quarter is going to be just unstoppable. It's going to be banging. The third quarter is going to be incredible. The fourth, I'm going to have the best fourth quarter, whatever it is. But I'm going to ease into this. I'm going to build the momentum over time. But if you break it down by month, you start January already with the wind behind your back. Already with that full momentum, right? So you got to break it down by month. And so let's talk about what we're breaking down by month. What do you want to make, right? How much do you want to make? It's a simple equation here. Let me skip ahead here a little bit. And it's a simple equation. If the average deal size in the country is $10,000, okay, and you want to make $250,000 this year, and it takes 25 deals to do that, and you know you have to talk to 200 people yourself equals 1 deal, you multiply these, and then you know how many people you need to talk to hit your goal of $250,000. Maybe you market. Maybe you're incredible at internet leads. Maybe you're incredible with mail. Direct mail. Maybe you're incredible with bandit signs. How many do you have to do to hit your goals? And then how much of this is for the year? You'd simply divide that by 12. This is the months. That's the months. So you divide that number by 12, and now you know what you need to accomplish for the month. Okay. I'm feeling it. We got our monthly goals. Yeah, that's cool. But what about, we need to break it down even more, right? What about the week, right? It's the same thing. It's the same process. You want to make $250,000? What do you need to accomplish each week? Well, that's 25 deals. There's 52 weeks in the year. You need to do a deal every 2 weeks. You need to do 2 deals a month and 1 month where you do 3. So how do you break that down per week? Well, I need to find somebody that's going to sign a contract every single week or every other week to be able to hit that goal, right? So you're breaking it down by the week. Now we're getting closer. Oh, I got a week to do this. This project is due in a week. I need to get going. I need to get on my horse. I need to start running. I need to start sprinting. I need to start this action. I need that energy building up. And so you break it down by week, and then of course we break it by the day. We can only live today, right? I love the goals. I love the year. We're not guaranteed that year. We're not guaranteed the week. We're not guaranteed the month. We're guaranteed right now. Now, is it likely that we're going to have all these things? Absolutely. Should we plan to live forever? Absolutely. Should we plan to provide as much value for as long as we possibly can? Absolutely. But we only have today. We only have right now. Who knows what's going to happen? We don't know what's going to happen. It's unknown. That's the beauty of it. That's the joy of it. That's what makes life worth living, is we live in the present. We can only control this. So what are you going to do today? Well, I know that I need to get a deal every 2 weeks, right? I need to lose 15 pounds this year, right? I need to go to these vacations this year. I need to be able to be around my kids this amount of time, whatever it is. I need to be at church and doing certain things or whatever, building in faith. I need to read a certain amount of pages of a book every single day. You break it down. 7 categories. What are you going to do in those 7 categories every single day so that you have harmony, right? And maybe you're working on your business 8 hours a day, 9 hours a day. There's 24 hours in a day. You sleep 8? Nobody sleeps 8. If you're over 20 years old, you're not sleeping 8 hours, all right? But let's say that you do. You still have so much time for all the other things. Even if you really focus 8 solid, committed, disciplined, attack mode hours every single day, you still have another 8 hours for all the other things in your life. Harmony, harmony, harmony. But you got to break it down by day. What can you do today? And then just put it in front of you. This is what I have to accomplish today. Boom. I used to do this every single day. Write it down. All 7, check mark, check mark, check mark, check mark, check mark. Not every day, but it helped. It helped. I was probably 80%, if I'm being honest, right? 20% of the time I was just like, nah, I'm phoning this one in. I'm just like, I don't know what it is. I just don't have it today. I'm going to phone this in. But 80% of the time, if you can stay on your schedule of what you're going to do every single day to accomplish the goals that you write for 2022, that you have already in your mind accomplished, woo, then you got to do the work. And now this is staring at you. Now this is your accountability. Now this is the thing pulling and tugging at you every single day. Nobody knows this pressure. Your friends don't know this pressure. Your family doesn't know this pressure. Entrepreneurs know this pressure, and most entrepreneurs aren't very good. So the good entrepreneurs know that this pressure, this right here, this is the hard part. This is the hard part of being a real estate entrepreneur, is this part. Doing this, checking off every single day the 7 things you need to do to have harmony in your life. That's the hard part. And then, of course, you got to squat up. You got to be brave. You got to tell somebody. You got to find somebody, whoever it is, whoever your cheerleader is, whoever's in your life, whoever's giving you that support, whoever's giving you that juice, who's ever giving you that love, who's ever going to be, have your back no matter what. You need to tell them what you want to accomplish, what you're going to, what you have accomplished. I mean, don't make it weird. Don't be like, I've already accomplished this and this. In your mind, yes. But when you're talking to somebody, you got to be like, this is what I'm going to do. This is my daily plan. Can you support me in this? I'm telling you, when you have a squad behind you and you have a daily action plan and you have a focused discipline towards that, a clarity for that, you can't lose. It's impossible. I'm telling you, you will not lose. You can only win. You can only win. So you got to be brave. You got to be brave. You got to squat up. You got to share it with people. Because if it's just inside, just you can't do it. You need to have those people behind your back. You need to have that support. You need to find the people that are doing the things that you're doing and surround yourself with them. You need to be loud. You need to go out there. You need to share. You need to help support everybody else. It's reciprocal. And then it grows and grows and grows and grows. I'm telling you, happens every single time. If you want an example, Steve Trang, Rafael Cortez, Jesse Burrell, Annie Dragonova, Ivo Dragonov, those three own Batch, obviously, Pace, Jamil, all of us have been getting together. We were getting together monthly, every single month growing up. Carlos Reyes, every single month. All of us, every single month getting together, right? That was what really was the rocket fuel. That was putting together the goals. What do you need? How can I support you? That's what you need. We were just guys doing deals. We were just anybody. We were just doing deals. The support, it goes a lot faster. It goes a lot faster when you have this, right? When you're brave and you share it and you find your squad, all right? So there you go. That is your homework. You need to write out that plan. You need to write out that plan, and you need to be, you need to just absolutely, hold on, sorry. Put this, we'll just put it back to this. Whatever. You need to write out your plan. Who are you going to be and what are you going to accomplish in 2022? It's going to be exciting, and I hope that you share it. Hope that you share it on here. I hope that you get going. I hope that you literally today sit down and write down those 6 things, those 6 processes, those 6 parts of you that you're going to improve, the things that you want to accomplish. It's constant, never-ending improvement. It's that whole CANI, C-A-N-I, constant, never-ending improvement. That's the old school Tony Robbins thing. Raph, hit me with the brain stuff.
I'm still processing right now. Everything you dropped was gold, and I completely agree with it. It's at the end of the day, we have this vision, right? We got to create a vision, so we have a map. I mean, that's kind of like the map. I like to think of it as a map. It gives you a direction of where you're headed, gives you a degree of clarity, like you said, and then we have the motivation, which is the fuel, right? The fuel to get to that vision. However, we need a vehicle. The vehicle is the goals. The goals. It's setting up the targets, the stuff that you're going to take down. And if you break it down, it really rewires your thinking, because now you have a gauge, you have a baseline of how big your think is. And as you start knocking all those down, like, the belief in yourself increases. And what happens? You feel like you're capable of more. You feel like you're capable of more and more and more and more, and then just become that much better every single day. Now, when you squat up, and what you said is it's so true. I don't think any of us would be where we're at if we hadn't squatted up at one point.
100%.
We were meeting consistently.
Yep.
So yeah, it's absolutely must. One thing that I want to throw out there,
because you've been doing this. This is something that Sean taught you years ago.
Oh yeah,
is to write that future. I mean, write it as you've already accomplished it.
Yeah. So he started putting this on the table, and I was like, "What is this thing? Like, what are we talking about?" I know goals, right? And I've always done SMART goals, specific and I've always done SMART goals, but this just took it, to a whole nother level. It's visualization, right? So we used to talk about the January letter, which is, it's very similar to what you're talking about now. And basically what you do is you sit down, you write a letter to yourself from January 2023, all right? And, I'm very proud of myself because I did this, and that. And then you start tackling all those bigger areas, the priorities, and of course that circle right there. And what ends up happening is that you have this narrative. You end up with a story, not bullet point. There's emotion behind it. So when you write a letter to yourself, there's emotion behind it, not just bullet points and things that are not that you can connect with other than a number and whatnot. So that helped out a lot. One thing I did too, I took it a step further, and I started recording this. So I would write down my January letter, which was super long. And
that's intimidating. Recording it on video, and
so
watching it.
I recorded it, and then I would just play it to myself. Like, I would throw it on the car. Like, all right, cool. And just play it's on my phone. Like, it's a recording on my phone. I can pull it out right now if you want to see it.
Yeah.
But it's I'm so proud of myself because I did this, and that, and that clarity, that vehicle for the map was there, right? Yeah.
Love it. So there we go, guys. Listen, welcome to Brent Daniels Live with my personal genius, Rafael Cortez. We are excited. This show is about you. The show is about question and answers. This show is to help you get more deals faster. This is, and a lot comes along with that. Confidence comes along with that. Instruction comes along with that. Education comes along with that. Development comes along with that. But it starts with you being brave and commenting in the section here, making sure that you're asking whatever questions that you're dealing with right now. Not only that, but one of the best parts about this show is celebrating success. Sorry, I was a little distracted by me popping up there. If you haven't subscribed, make sure that you do if you're getting value out of this. I'm telling you, we come out with amazing things every single day to give you the action plan. Not the just fluff, the action plan to be successful in this business, but sharing your success. If you have gotten a deal this week, if you have closed a deal, if you have gotten paid, we want to recognize you, not only just because it's dope to ring that bell and I love celebrating and it gives good energy and I think it just the community feels good about it, but to show people that you're out there working, to show people that you're somebody that they should squad up with, to show people that they can also do this as well if they just go out there and take the action. So as we're opening this thing up and starting with the questions, Alejandra is pulling quadruple duty here. She's running all the cameras, the audio, and she is getting the comments. So make sure that you're nice to her and putting in good questions, and she'll put you up here and we'll answer them. All right? Got a closing today. I know you do, JVC. JVC's always closing, man. JVC is doing that thing. You can't just, come on, JVC, listen. You can't just go, oh, I got a closing today. How much? What are we doing? Are we doing 1,000? Are we doing 12,000? Are we doing 18,000? What are we doing?
Stop holding out on the tribe, JVC.
Yeah,
come on, let's do it.
Come on.
Bring it home. Bring it home.
I love it. I love it. Congratulations, JVC. Put in here what you're making. That would be incredible. All right. Real Estate Rocky, 31 days left, everybody. Let's kill it. Hope everybody gets their first deal to close out 2021. That's right. Listen, you can push hard here, right? You know, all of those people that have been holding off, all of those people that want to get these properties sold, but they've been waiting to the last moment, find them. You know, do you want to get this handled? Do you want to start next year fresh and not have to worry about the stress of this property? I can make this happen in the next 2 weeks to 17 days. We can do this before the holiday even hits, but we have to take action now. So sign the agreement, right?
I think one of the biggest things to highlight is you know, the fact that we're like you said a couple of weeks ago, right? The year is practically gone. So right now we're setting up for the beginning of what's happening. So if you want to have deals at the beginning of the year and start off right, you don't start on the 25th. You don't start on the 20th. You kick it off, you know, in December, and then setting up and teeing up the closings that you're going to have in January, you know, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th.
That's it.
So that's a game plan. I mean, it's really right now our year has started.
Yeah,
we're in it. It's the beginning.
I find it really interesting. It's like, you know, we have this Christmas and then we have New Year's and then it's like blah blah blah. You know, but humans invented that. You know what I mean? Like, we invented the calendar, we invented the years, we invented days, we invented all these things. You know what I mean? And so it's like, even if you close a deal on the 4th of January, be happy. You know what I mean? Like, dope. Let's go. You know what I mean? You're still going to be able to take advantage of that income. So, but push. I mean, every single day, look at the things that you're going to check off. Those 6 parts of your life that you're going to check off. What are you working on? You know, what is going to happen today? What's the moment today? Who are you going to connect with today that's going to keep you accountable to those goals? You know, and if you're in a partnership, this should be a heavy conversation. This should be a deep conversation. This should be what are we going to do as a partnership, as a team, as a company to change the world, to change at least our community. I mean, we start there, right? And then the ripple effects of the things that we do. Listen, when we go out there, 12 million properties have been vacant for over a year based on the 2020 census. Those are just single family houses. When we go and we're the ones that coordinate with that seller and that buyer to do something special, clean up that property, that neighborhood doesn't have another vacant house, that helps everybody. Just telling you, it helps everybody because now things are going up. Neighborhoods are getting rejuvenated. There's more property tax, which means it goes to all, what is it, the 6 S's, the schools, the safety, the streets, the, I don't know. Somebody pull up the 6 S's. I'm slipping my mind. But that's where property taxes go to, and that helps everybody. So there you go. 35. Come on, man. Come on, man.
And
What are we talking about?
He was holding out on
He was
that.
holding out.
Come on.
He's sandbagging.
JVC, you know better.
Come
on.
on. Look at that guy. Come
guy.
on. 35K. Absolutely incredible. I love that. Now let's add 15 more on top of that. You know, massive deals in this. Massive deals on this channel. So, but that's phenomenal. 35,000. That's absolutely incredible. Congratulations. Wow. Right before the holidays. I mean, it feels sweeter. You know, it feels sweeter.
It's like Santa coming down the chimney.
Yeah, I love it.
Make sure you put cookies out.
Yeah, it's better than that. It's way better. It's so much better. That's incredible. Awesome. Brent, thank you and your team for the swag bag from last week. Jerry, you got it. Expecting a t-shirt, got a whole backpack full of stuff. So awesome. TTP hoodie is now my everyday wear. Jerry, well, listen, it's real easy. You take a picture of you in that TTP hoodie and you change out that purple J that's on the screen with a picture of you wearing that hoodie, and Alejandra's going to be pumped because she personally packed that, right? She personally sent it from that closet that we have right there, right behind this camera. That's where she packed it and sent it to you. So I want to see it on you, Jerry. I bet it looks great. And listen, when you wear that, wear it with pride. People are going to ask you what it means. And you got to tell them, it's talk to people. I'm a real estate investor, and this is the philosophy that I use to go out there and find incredible opportunities and work with people that want to get rid of properties that they no longer want. So awesome, Jerry. Jared, let's go, JVC. I also have a closing today, $8,500 off the MLS. Not a huge deal, but we will take it, Jared. We will take it. $8,500. I remember, and this is no joke, Raphael. I was, and this is crazy. I'm gonna go memory lane here. Lost everything. It's 2010. I have the office lease judgment on me. I am doing nothing. I'm like shelled up. I'm like a weird person at the time for like a solid year. I was just like, oh my gosh. And I remember I had my real estate license, and Ryan Thornton, who is my acquisition manager now, was like, I need to buy a house. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is a godsend. And I made, like, after the split with the broker on this, like $2,100. And I was like, oh, breathing room. Oh my gosh, this is incredible. This is so good. $2,100. That's absolutely incredible. And, you know, $8,500 off the MLS. Jared, you should be absolutely thrilled. You should be so excited. I mean, that is phenomenal. Hold on a second. Here we go.
Boom.
Boom.
It's important to recognize the wins, man. I mean, like it's part of the goal setting, right? It's part of creating that vision and really panning things out.
Yep.
Even, you know, $8,500, it's not a small deal by any means. We have a lot of students that come in and they're fixated on 5K, you know, 3K and whatnot. That shows me that Jared's thinking is getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
He's getting bigger.
And it's important to just recognize the wins, right? Do not downplay them because they are wins.
I love it. Look at that. I just realized. No, put it back on, Raphael. I can see myself in that live on air side. It's like you can't escape me.
There you are.
If you can, I pop up and tell you to subscribe to the channel. That's bananas. All right. Congratulations, Jared. We celebrate you. All right. And I like it. You know, looking down, 2021 was yours, bro. Coach of the year, hands down. Thank you, Brandon. I appreciate that. Listen, this year, and I will agree with that statement. No, I mean, listen, like, we do well with real estate, really well. It's our best year ever in our wholesaling business. And we've been flipping a little bit more, selling to the hedge funds, doing all that stuff. But the celebration that I get multiple times, and you know, your students as well, multiple times a day, people texting me with copies, pictures of checks or deposits of wires or whatever else, that is the best part of my day, without a doubt. The best part, well, professionally, obviously. But listen, when you can go out and the words that you say and the impact that you have and people go out and they actually use it, that's the greatest gift. That's the greatest, that's the whole point. Is I know if you watch this channel and you implement or you get into my world, if it's coaching or whatever, it's not a pitch, but if you do, you win. I mean, the principles that we talk about on this channel are undeniable. I don't know a single person that if you have enough quality conversations with, am I crying? I might be crying. Thank you, Brandon. It's undeniable. It's absolutely undeniable that you will win. It's impossible for you to lose. If you have enough quality conversations with distressed property owners, you'll win. And I think that, I don't know anybody that gets as many texts as I do. I'm just saying. But whatever. Thank you, Brandon. I appreciate it. We're just getting warmed up. You should see what's on the plan for 2022. It's gonna be ridiculous. You guys, just hold on. This whole thing is gonna be like 10x. I'm telling you. So
I think the word is bananas.
It's bananas.
I think the word is
bananas.
It's definitely bananas.
Another banana for your fruit basket.
Oh yeah.
I love it. Thank you, Brandon. That's great. Jose. Hey, Brent, I think I lost early this year a crazy $90K deal because I didn't double close or escrow. I understand the process. However, how can I fill a second purchase contract with a buyer if I'm not the owner? Yeah, that's great, Jose. So first of all, this all goes back. So let's explain this real quick, okay? Let's explain this. This is a double close or escrow. Okay? So this deal, can they hear me all right? Is this good? Okay, good. All right, so this is the purchase agreement or contract. Purchase agreement is what we call it because people don't like the word contract. Contract is a friction word. If they say it, then you can say it. But I mean, if they're like, so purchase agreement. And this is between the distressed property owner and you. And here you are. You got these big old muscles and these strong legs. There you are, right? That's you. And there's the purchase agreement. And then here's you and your cash buyer. Okay, so you do one purchase agreement. They are the seller. Here, you're the seller. So in the purchase agreement, you put yourself as the seller. This is the buyer. And here, you are the buyer. Okay? There it is. So what happens is, if it's a double close, you actually pay for it, right? You close it, and then this person is going to close it the same day, right? So you put your money in, it closes, and then they close it out, boom, done. And then in double escrow, their money actually closes this. You don't even need your money. You don't even need money for a double escrow. Not a lot of title companies do it, but some do. So you listen, Jose, any big deals, and I'm serious about this, any big deals that we signed one for $92,000. That was interesting. But the rest of them, that was because it was like a very, 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 very specific cash buyer that we were working with. And so I was comfortable. I knew that they would close. I knew that they were good. I knew they didn't care what we made, whatever it is. But for the rest of them, we close on them like we own them, and then we're going to blast them out. So my suggestion to you, Jose, is for those big, juicy deals, you need to bring it to somebody that has cash, or at least the down payment, the 20, 30%, whatever a hard money or private money lender in your town is going to require to close that deal. Find somebody, find family, find a mentor, find partners, find whatever. Don't give up half the deal, right? But Close it, get the down payment, close it with hard money, or close the whole thing with their funds and then send out that deal. Because I don't want anything happening. And this has happened a couple times, and I really learned. But one time it really burned me is a really big deal. I blasted it out. One of the people on the list knew the seller, sent the information to the seller. The seller then wanted 40 grand more for the property, which we gave him. It was still enough meat on the bone there, but we lost out on we made significantly less because we gave him 40. So anytime you've got a big deal, guys, I am telling you, find a way to close it. If you can do all of these things, if you can pull lists and go through and talk to these distressed property owners and go there and sit down with them and see their 14 cats and the 100 million cigarettes that they've smoked inside their house and all the junk in the backyard and go through these hoarder houses. If you could do all of these things, you can make 4 or 5 phone calls to find somebody that's going to give you the money to be able to close that deal. First of all, there's hard money lenders everywhere. So there's 70, 80% of what you need right there. You just have to find that other 20, 30% and get that thing closed. All right? Get that thing closed and then move on. Do you close all the big ones?
Yeah. I mean, sometimes we'll come in and do a double escrow on it.
Yeah.
Instead of a close. But if we're doing the double escrow, there's clauses that go that you have to watch out for in place. Ask the closing attorney or the title company. They'll have specific clauses that you need in your contract. So you're not going to use the same contract that you use with the seller. I think it's important to make a point of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. What's the biggest deal this year? What'd you do?
We just closed 80. We payout was $87,000.
80,000?
87,000.
87.
Yeah. 87,000.
Woo! I love it.
Yeah, we closed that.
I love it. Sorry. Alejandro's talking about turning Wi-Fi on and off. I'm like, oh God, are we even talking to anybody?
IG isn't working.
Oh, okay. IG's not working, but we're good here. All right. Rock and roll. There you go, Jose. Don't let that happen again. Ashley, what's the next great real estate conference event to go to, Brent? I don't know. You know, there is... I really like what Mike Hambright's doing. He does some phenomenal things. I think he's got an event early in April in Tampa. I think it's right after that mastermind that we're a part of. What is the name of his mastermind? I'll get the info. Hunter, it's actually on my phone, on my email. Well, I won't ask you to do nothing. Investor Fuel. Sorry, Investor Fuel. Check out Investor Fuel because he's got the Investor Nerd podcast and Investor Fuel. Check that out. Mike Hambright, phenomenal group there. And I know Cody Sperber was on. Clever Investor was on Monday on the Wholesale Hotline, and he's got a huge event, some huge summit here in April in Phoenix as well. So you know. That would be an interesting one as well. I don't know who's on there and what's going on, but he throws phenomenal events. There you go. And actually, what I would do, honestly, you know, you're going to get way more going to meetups in your city. You're going to get way more going to the, you know, the RIA groups in your area, as long as it's not too salesy, as long as it's like real. So I would look at some of those. I know Bigger Pockets does a pretty good job of connecting people, or people post and get together. So, check that out.
Jump into meetup.com and there's a ton of stuff in there. Meetup.com.
Yep.
I mean, you're going to find real estate just events all over the place. But yeah, you're right. I mean, at the end of the day, I think you get the most value when you have that proximity, that one-to-one conversation. And local meetups are a lot more open to that kind of stuff.
Yeah, now as things are opening up more and states are feeling better and, you know, whatever. I mean, who knows what's going on with this whole thing. But hopefully there's more meetups. There we go. Awesome question. Jose, Brent, I'm about to have 2 weeks off my job. How can I maximize my time during that? I'm trying to go bananas and have these 2 weeks to change my life or change your life. Well, listen, this is just, it's a nice runway, Jose. Here it is. Get a list of, at least 500 addresses. We talk about a ton of lists here. If you need some more instruction on that, TTP Insider. Do you mind putting that across, Chandra? The TTP Insider little banner. I know you're doing a million things. TTP Insider has some instructions on pulling the list, but build up your driving for dollars. Don't let that just like suck up your whole 2 weeks, but build up, get a list of at least 500, get them skip trace, start calling them. Call. And during these next weeks, you got to figure out where you're going to squad, who you're looking at. Start like finding people. Start looking on Instagram. Start looking at Facebook. Start looking at these meetup groups. Start figuring out who in your area is doing exciting things. Post here on the comments and let everybody know where you live and squad up with somebody that's around. It's not weird. Like, just post in here. We're all the same. We all have this real estate entrepreneur brain. So just post in the comments, get together, and actually, have some human interaction with people that want to do this or are doing this. But the number one thing is you have to take action. You need to be talking to people. That's it. Like, guys, if you boil this thing down, lead generation, conversion of those leads into a signed agreement, and exit strategy. That's it. Either you're signing that deal, you're flipping that deal, or you're holding on to it and adding to your portfolio. That's it, right? So if those are the three things, it all starts, the engine of this whole train. If those are 3 parts of a train, the whole part of it starts with lead generation. Lead generation. Talking to people. TTP, baby. So that's what you need to do. Find Ugly House, find the property, and find the contact information for the owner and talk to them. Awesome.
Going back to the meetups and putting yourself out there, I think sometimes what happens is that we're afraid, right? That we don't know enough. I don't know enough to be in that room. I just had a conversation with Devin Burr.
Yeah.
The first time we just had him on the show.
Yep.
But the first time he came to a meetup, he was sitting in his car for like 20 minutes deciding whether or not he wanted to get off the car.
He was here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's important, right? Like, at the end of the day, we all start somewhere. You don't have to, be the top fish in the pond to go into a meetup. So don't be afraid of that. Just take action, go there, expose yourself, and have vulnerable conversations.
Yep.
It really comes down to that. It comes through, it shines through, and then guess what? Things change real quick.
Real fast.
From 3 months to 6 months. I mean, you're a whole different character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the thing that builds your confidence is the action. The thing that builds your confidence is education. You get your education from the results that you get. Remember, action plus results equals your education. Not the whole education plus action equals results. It's the wrong equation. Flip that all around, all right? And it's going to build your confidence. And the more confidence you have, the taller you stand. The taller you stand, and the more you smile with your eyes and your face and your mouth, the more people want to be around you, and you become a magnet. And if you're out there taking action and you're bringing people like, hey, listen, I'm talking to this owner. I don't know if it's a deal. Can you help me out type of thing? Woo, that opens up a lot of doors. You want to be connected to the top people in your area. Bring them deals. Sell them deals. Make money on it while you're building the relationship. It's phenomenal. It's an incredible business we're in. So, hey, Brent, what's the difference between double escrow and double close? Can you explain this? Brian. Yeah, it's right here, brother. It's right here. So basically, the difference is, and sorry, maybe I didn't make this, explain this as well as I could, and my handwriting is terrible, and they make me do like this 3 instead of 2. It's a bigger, whatever. Anyway, the difference is with a close, you actually are putting in your money. You need to come up with money. That is the whole thing. All right? You need to be able to fund that with your own money, with hard money, or with some private money coming in and covering the whole thing. But you actually close on it. You bring in the cash. With a double escrow, what the cash is coming to fund your transaction is coming from the cash buyer. The cash buyer puts in the cash, they close, they send it in to close your deal, and it goes and it funds this deal, and that is a double escrow. A lot of people don't do double escrows because, title companies are like, nah, I don't know. I want you to close it with your own funds, and then I'll close it here. It makes it a little bit cleaner, less liability, I guess. I don't know. You'd have to talk to a title company.
It's actually one of the first questions that we ask title companies when we're trying to build up our power team. Like,
Love it.
do you guys do double escrows?
Mm-hmm.
That'll tell us experience level of the escrow officer or the closing officer, and whether or not you have a resource there. How do you? This is a question for you, but how do you decide whether if you're gonna close or do a double escrow on it?
I have the funds, so now I was double escrowing as much as possible before to build up the account. Yeah. Now I just close it because I am going to close it on big deals before I even tell cash buyers about it. I don't want there to be any. I want this to be the most silent deal of all time. I don't want anybody to know that this is even an opportunity. I don't want there to be any chance that somebody goes and torpedoes the deal. So I'm going to close that deal. And then when I own it, I'm blasting that thing. Yeah. And it's hilarious because, when you own it and then you blast it out and then people are trying to find like the owner and they're trying to reach out and like, oh, they're trying to sell this deal. And it's like owned in one company, but we're blasting it out as another. They're like, do you know that this is selling? And I'm like, yeah, it's my company. And I was like, gotcha. I gotcha. You're one of those snakes in the grass that is trying to backdoor people. And it happens. I mean, it happens not often. By the way, a lot of people are very, very, very fearful of that. And I understand that. It doesn't happen very often, but sometimes it does. And if it's a big deal or if it's a deal that we beat somebody else out and they're mad about it and they're trying to like stir up some dust, yeah. It lets you know who these people are real fast, which is great.
So just to kind of recap on that, the safest way is to close on a deal. That way you
of course.
have, it's not just vested interest, you actually own the property and then you're selling it, right? So when you close on a property, it's your property, it's yours to sell.
That's it.
Double escrow, you're still selling your interest in the contract. So it's a little bit of a different
and I learned that lesson, Raf, at the auction, right? So in 08, end of 2007, in 08, 9, 10, we had raised a buddy of mine's grandpa sold a company, had millions of dollars, wanted to get in, saw the market crashing, wanted to buy properties at auction, didn't want to do anything. So we did everything. We would review all of the properties, go into auction the next day. We would send it to the guys to bid on it. We would organize all the funds. We would fix it up. We would sell it. We'd do everything. And then we'd split the deal with the funding guy 50-50. But you learn there, when you buy a property here in Phoenix at auction, all the cash has to be in by the next day.
Yeah.
One day. There's no title. There's no escrow. There's no anything. You're buying it, but it goes through the auction, so everything gets cleared off. All the liens get cleared off, and the only thing you're responsible for is property taxes, and it just made it really clean. But that instilled something in me that, okay, if I own this quickly, if I own this, then I'm in full control. Nobody else can mess with me. And that's something powerful, especially on bigger deals. Especially with bigger deals. Yeah. Alex, I've been struggling keeping myself accountable. Usually I am very good and do it in person, but since graduating high school, I feel like I've been lacking. No one telling me what to do and need a mindset switch. How? Alex, yeah, I mean, listen, I get it. I mean, I totally get it. If you're out there on an island, it's a 2-word answer. Squat up, bro. You need to have somebody that understands what you're doing. You need to have somebody that understands the passion that you have. You need to have somebody that's going to make sure that you're supported, that you have cheerleaders. It's very hard to do this just by yourself floating in the middle of the ocean. It is. I mean, it's just going to be a lot harder. And the problem is if you're 18, 19, 20, you don't have a lot of people that are like, yeah, I want to do this. Find them. I mean, you don't have a lot of people within your crew or whatever you're growing up with or your family or whatever else. So you got to find them. So squat up with people that are in your area. Go find somebody. Go apprenticeship. for somebody. Go get a job with somebody where all you do is you warm up their leads or something, or call their leads. Like, go find an opportunity to like work with somebody so that you can really get into that rhythm. Because if you truly have that burning fire in your belly, you're just like a little bit nervous because you don't want to screw things up, and you don't really feel like you know enough to go ahead, and you haven't had a tremendous amount of adult conversations about selling real estate, which I completely understand. If I was 18, 19, there's no way. There's no way I was in that space. But kids are smarter. Kids are faster now. Kids are doing these things. We've got 17-year-olds closing deals. You got 19-year-olds closing deals, 18-year-olds closing massive deals. I mean, Carter Libis here in Arizona has been crushing. He's made over, I don't know, a couple $100,000 this year, right? And he's 19. He graduated high school, last year. So yeah, but it's about squatting up. I mean, he squatted up with me, and so he went bananas. But if you can't afford a coach, which is Instant Squad, and you get that whole community and that whole mentorship and that whole coaching, then you got to find people close to you. Coaching is just the hack. Coaching is the move to the front of the line, get around all the people doing this thing, and have access to somebody that is where you want to be. That's what coaching is. So you want to get there faster. That's what you get a coach.
Also one of the things that happens, especially when you're that young. I mean, we say it all the time, right? People get distracted. There's so much noise in social media. Man, this person is doing this. This guy killed it here. They're making $2 million, $3 million, and they're selling EFTs. And now some new, thing came up, and they're part of that as well. So it gets noisy out there, especially if you're young and you're trying to figure out where you're headed. Yeah. Dial that down a little bit. Yeah. So dial down the noise. Figure out what your top 3 priorities are individually, and then focus on that kind of stuff. Because you have to create. Again, we're going back to the goal setting. Yep. But it's I think more of a mindset shift. It can be almost like a technical shift. Yep. Sometimes it's too noisy there to listen to our own thoughts.
Love it.
Yeah, keep that in mind.
Love it. And I can't wait to buy EFTs.
Me too.
I have 7.
They're NFTs. NFTs.
Yeah, EFTs are.
Well,
those are the level 2 stuff. I mean,
level 2. Sorry,
those are not even out yet.
Things. You're the smart.
Yeah,
I don't know.
those are not even out yet. You wouldn't know.
Man.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get plenty of those for my fruit basket. Do you invest real estate only in Canada or U.S.? I am only in the U.S. I have never bought property in Canada. So, yeah, I'm in Phoenix, Arizona. So, yeah, it's I don't know about Canada real estate. I barely know. I mean, the United States and the ability to do what we do. Signing deals, wholesaling, fix and flip, long-term capital gains taxes. I mean, there's a lot of different factors that go into different countries. So just do your research. Awesome. Oh, come on, Daniel, you maniac. Closed a $33K deal in September, but lost my... Oh, geez. I thought we were celebrating. Well, I'm going to celebrate it anyway. I'm going to celebrate it anyway. Here we go. Daniel, the answer to your question here, brother, is have a short memory. It's done. Start every day at 0. What are the 6 things that you're going to get done to hit your goals, right? What are the 6 things that you're going to work on here as you break this thing down, right? What are the 6 things? That's a cool spotlight. Where's that coming from over there? All right. What's the 6 things that you're going to do right here that on a daily basis so that you win? That's it. Write it down, Daniel. Write down the 6 things. What are you going to do today to hit those things? Well, today, every day I had it, I have to talk to 45 new people. I'm telling you, if you talk to 45 new property owners yourself every single day, you will go bananas. You will have so many opportunities you won't even know what's hitting you. I'm telling you. And then you work on your ability to convert those. And then you build up a big, robust, healthy, happy cash buyer database. or you get into flipping, or you add it to your portfolio, whatever it is. But if it's wholesaling, I'm telling you, you just build it. How many people do you need to talk to today? That's it. It starts with one day. It starts with an hour. And listen, if you're sitting in neutral right now, and I get it, especially after getting a big check, you're like, okay, I'm going to start doing all these things. The issue is, what I wish would happen is I wish the first $250,000 that every real estate investor made was locked in a lockbox somewhere. I do. I really wish this was just locked away. You know it's there. You know you're building it, but you can't use it. You can't spend it. You can't do anything. You just got to keep adding, and you only can get money after $250,000. It would create so much discipline in our business to not go out and hire 14 people right off the bat, to go out and hire acquisition managers when you only have 30 leads that you're following up with, to hire a disposition manager when you have 5 people on your cash buyer tab. You know what I mean? Like, this is very, very, very typical. We close, and Daniel, I'm not saying you did this. I'm just saying this is something typical that I see all the time is I close my first deal, I'm ready to scale. Keep doing it. Seriously, keep doing it. Scale after you've done 30 grand, 3 straight months. That's a decent discipline. $250,000, if it could just be locked away. And once you get $1 over $250,000, you get it all released to you. Then you could build your business. You know what I mean? Like, that would be phenomenal.
Yeah, no, I completely agree, man. And then, I mean, as you're going that, and as you have that consistency, your systems start to fine tune, like the process. You can't delegate, something that's not well established. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's not going to be effective. It's going to be chaos all over the place.
Yep.
One thing that I just wanted to throw out there for Daniel, break it down right now. If you lost momentum, it's because of consistency and persistency go hand in hand, right? But split your time. Make sure that you're always following up. So allocate, 40% of the time for follow-ups, or 30% of the time for follow-ups, and then the rest of it to creating new business. All right, so do a mix of both. But right now, especially at this stage where you're having spikes and then bottom or valleys, it's allocate the time like that. Make sure that you're always generating new business, not just focusing on the follow-up, because that's where the gap happens. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I like this new camera angle. You can look right at them. You're entering right. Yeah, it's not that side view of you. Yeah,
is that
I love it. Dang. Nobody knows how buff you are.
I think it's catching my good side.
There you go.
I'm gonna wear a tank top next time.
Nice. Tank top in the winter. Welcome to Phoenix. I joined TTP in October 21. I have closed 1 deal for $18K and closing 2 more deals Friday and one 28th. Listen, we're doing a podcast. You know that. For a total of 48. That's $66,000 so far. Thank you, Brent. Listen. You did all the hard work. You did but you focus. That's the point. If you just build your confidence to talk to people and just do that income producing activity, and you have somebody that's got your back to make sure that you get through the finish line, you win. I am telling you, you win. Look at that. Come on. That is absolutely bananas. Come on.
I can tell you one thing. She's not broken no more.
She's broken to riches. She's at the riches. I don't know who Broken to Riches is. I don't recognize the picture. Tell me who that is, so that I can celebrate you and we can do this podcast. That'd be fantastic. All right. Adam, guys, don't let the small wins be small wins. Just make $5K on a wholesale deal today. And trust me, it feels the same as my first deal 10 years ago. Congratulations, Adam. That is fantastic.
Preach, brother.
Listen, I'm telling you, you start stacking all these things. You start building all of this up. You win. You win. Stack the small wins. That's one of the rules in TTP is stacking the small wins. You drive for dollars. You get in your car, literally, wherever it is, in your carport, in your driveway, in your garage, wherever. You get in your car and you pull out of your driveway, that's a win. You drive down the street, that's a win. You find an ugly house and you hit the Deal Machine app, that's a win. Put the Deal Machine thing up so that people have that. That thing's bananas. Driving for dollars, Deal Machine up. Boom. That's a win. You go to, you get the phone number for this ugly house, this house that needs some love. Boom. That's a win. You press call. That's a win. You leave a voicemail, or you talk to somebody, or you text them. That's a win. And that you just keep doing that. Isn't that crazy? It's like that's the best. That's the best. You find properties that are in distress. You talk to the property owner and you win. Deal Machine, honestly, phenomenal. Biggest discount that they give for Deal Machine, guys. If you use the TTP code, check it out. They just pour so much money into that app. And it's an app that you drive around and it gives you all the owner information, lets you know if it's vacant or occupied, if it's tenants, how much equity they have, the whole thing. So check that out, dealmachine.com. I have a property under contract. Unfortunately, the buyer's offer is what I have for under contract. Should I sign contract with buyer first, then negotiate? No, you don't want to sign that contract. Listen, you need to get something. I mean, you got a couple options here, right? So if they are going to close the deal and there's legit buyers and it's the exact same price, you got to push them up. You got to push them up before you assign it to them. If they're literally not going to adjust their price, then what you need to do is find another buyer. That's number one. Get loud. Call everybody else. If everybody's telling you the same thing, you got two options. Try to get a little price reduction out of the seller, or just close that deal, make nothing on it, do what's right for the seller. Or get the buyer to pay you more. But if they really won't pay any more, then do what's right for the seller. You can ask them for a reduction if you think that there's opportunity there, but because your efforts and time and service is valuable. But if for some reason you didn't do your numbers right, you got to eat it. Got to eat it. Get that deal done. Move on. Remember, listen, don't ever get stuck up on one deal. When you could do this forever. You're going to do 1,000 deals. You're going to do 10,000 deals. Who knows, right? One deal, you won't even remember the one deal. 5 years from now, you won't remember. Maybe if you don't make anything on it, you will. But the memory will be, okay, I need to be better at doing my numbers.
Also, if they're gonna, if they have a limited buyers database, that's gonna be one issue there, right? But use it. So even if you're gonna break out even, or you're gonna make $1,000 on this deal just because it's tight, make sure that you highlight the fact that you're giving that buyer an opportunity. Hey, listen, man, I'm not gonna make any on this, but I want you to do well. We'll make it up on the next deal.
Yeah.
So make it. If you don't tell people that you're giving them value, they won't know it. Okay. So highlight that. Use it.
Love it. Oh, Sherlyn, yes. That's it. I love it. I love it. Well, listen, I'm reaching out. Alejandro, make sure that we get a podcast here set up. That's going to be awesome. Awesome. Crushing 66,000. New to real estate, focusing on wholesales and future. Brr. What should I be focusing on? There are a lot of info to digest. What are your suggestions? First thing first, if you are getting into real estate, you need to not watch anything else but this channel. I am dead serious. If you start bouncing around, then people do. Listen, this is my advice. Nobody takes it, but you can do whatever. I would literally watch everything on this channel. I would go bananas. I would get into TTP Insider. Let's run that thing again. TTP Insider. It's got a toolbox and resources and training and all sorts of different things in there. A little bit more organized than the YouTube channel, but it's other stuff too. It's original content in there as well. But focus. This is the most important thing, right? Just put this in your brain. When you learn the skill of sourcing discounted properties, you are set for life. That's it. You want to get into Burr? You want to get into... Do we have that picture, Alejandro, with that you put together where wholesaling's the base and then we have the different things that you can do?
No, but I can add it.
All right, can we add that? We'll put that up there. But basically, wholesaling is just finding discounted properties. And then that's the foundation of your real estate entrepreneurial business, is the ability to find opportunities. That's lead generation. This business breaks down to lead generation, conversion of those leads, and then what the exit strategy that you want to use. Wholesale it, flip it, hold it. Okay, that's it. All right, so keep it simple. And go after, find the ugliest properties in your area. Get their phone number from batchskiptracing.com, batchskiptracing.com, and get their phone number, call them up, and ask them if they would consider an offer. And I've got all the scripts, all the stuff in TTP Insider, so make sure you check that out. Yeah, that's where you start. Everything that you want to accomplish starts with finding discounted properties. And you can. There's 17-year-olds that are doing it. There's 77-year-olds that are doing it, right? Like it doesn't matter what your background is, what your education level is. Here it is. Real estate investing. It starts there. Discounted properties is the land. What you build on that land is the rest of your businesses. Do you build fix and flip business? Do you build a rental portfolio? Development? Are you going to build from the ground up, literally? Are you going to be the bank? Are you going to be providing money to people and getting interest, or getting a slice of the deal or half of the deal, whatever it is? Are you going to get into coaching and mentorship and giving back at some point? But it all starts, none of that happens without discounted properties. None of that happens without the skill of finding those deals, right? So that's the start. The start is stay focused, stay laser focused. And I would be focused on this channel exclusively because there's no fluff here. It's just real. It's just, this is where you go if you want to win. You know what I mean? So, yeah. There you go. Nice. How is it possible that your market isn't oversaturated with all you hustlers in one place? Yeah, Matt, it is incredible. Listen, there's 1.5 million properties in the greater Phoenix area, in our county, in Maricopa County, give or take, obviously. But it's about 1.5 million. So let's do the math here. 6 to 10% of the market. Do you have your phone? Do you have a calculator? Does somebody have? What's 6% of 1.5 million? So 6 to 10% of the market is in distress, Matt, at all times. That's 90,000 houses. 90,000. Now let's put this in perspective. Okay, that's 90,000 houses. Okay, now, my business, we're going to do 1.516. We're trying to see million in revenue out of, I think it's 40 some odd deals, right? We do bigger deals. We make a good amount on each one. We focus on doing big deals. 40 out of 90,000, Matt. I'm not even a drop in the bucket, and it's $1.5 million business. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no competition. I mean, yeah, okay, somebody's bidding on this, and they're doing this and this and this, and when people start reaching out. But the interesting thing is, if you're going to prospect, if you're going to be proactive about your business and go after these property owners and try to introduce yourself to them, as opposed to having them call you from some sort of marketing or referral, there's not a lot of competition typically. Sometimes, but for the most part, there's, I mean, if we're competing, it's only against a couple other people. It's not like 15. So, yeah, man, there's plenty of opportunities. What do you think? I mean, you're here.
Yeah, no, also there's a lot of attrition. Like, a lot of people don't last long in this kind of industry, right? Because they're scattered, they're all over the place.
Yep. They don't write their goals.
They don't write their goals. They don't squat up. They don't, so things like that make a difference. That makes so we're not really, I don't think, there's a lot of people doing and, throwing offers out there, but, sellers see that, right? Yeah. Sellers will see how solid you are as a buyer. And then they'll resonate and want to do business with you if you're solid. But it takes a while to build that up. And I think a lot of people fall, I mean, I think the stat that I saw was like 83% of real estate professionals will just dwindle off during the first year.
First year.
Yeah. That includes agents, investors. And So there's a lot of attrition, right?
Right. So there's people falling out all the time, people coming in all the time, but there's still 90,000 opportunities just in our market. Yeah. 90,000. Yeah. Could you imagine doing 1,000 deals a year?
Oh.
Be bananas. And that would be 1/90th. It would be like 1.5%, not even 1.12% of the market. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. There's plenty of deals, man. Love it. Corbin, 7 figures. Today, what is the correct formula for calculating a deal? Is it ARV times 0.84 or 0.9 minus repair minus fee? Yeah, Corbin, it's, listen, the easier one is the classic here. This is the easiest one, and then we can get a little bit more refined. But depending on where your market is, this is pretty true for the entire country. If it's 250,000 plus, multiply it by 66%. And by the way, this is the ARV. This is once it's fixed up. After it's fixed up, typically, if you're at 66%, that's a good offer price for you. You can build in a nice wholesale fee on top of that. If it's between 249,999 and 100,000, times it by 0.5. Right? Or 50%, not 0.50%, you get it. And then if it's 100 grand or below, you want to be at 25%, or times it by 0.25 of whatever that property is. That's going to put you in the ballpark. If the 0.84 is a little bit more accurate, so you use 0.84 when it's above 200,000. So you times anything above 200,000 by 0.84. You minus the repair cost, and then you build in your fee. What do you want to make on that? I think that you should have a minimum standard, whatever that is, whether it be 10,000, whether it be 20,000, whether it be 30,000, whatever it is, depending on your market. But if you want to make anything on it, then build that in. And then you subtract that, and you are at the price that you can offer, or your highest, your max allowable offer, as people also call that MAO, max allowable offer. That's that one, Corbin. So it's case by case, but I think this generally is going to get you in the ballpark. And this is really, as those sellers are throwing out numbers, and you're looking at Zillow, you're looking at PropStream, you're doing these things, then you're looking at these values, and you go, okay, let me times this by 0.66, by 0.5, by 0.25, and see if we're even close, if they're even reasonable. And then you can sharpen your pencil. 0.84 minus the repairs, minus what you want to make, is your max allowable offer. Because, and by the way, that 0.84 is 10% off the top for profit for the investor, and 6% for the closing, holding, all that costs. All right? Andrew. Hey, Brent, I just skip traced a 2K probate list straight from PropStream. List isn't nearly as active with people getting on the line. Is there something you... Yeah, Andrew, it's because PropStream skip tracing isn't even close to batch skip tracing. It's just a fact, dude. I mean, I pull every list from PropStream and put it straight into batch. Batch pulls from more lists. Listen, skip tracing is an add-on with PropStream. It is the full business of batch skip tracing. You know what I'm saying? Like, specialist versus general. You know what I mean? Like, batch skip tracing just pulls better data. It's just not white-labeled IDI data, which is where most people get their lists. And they white-label a list. So that's why. Batch skip tracing is going to give you a higher contact rate. That's why I've been, promoting, talking about them, using them for the last 4 years. Yeah. So batch skip trace, that's why, Andrew. It's just, you're just going to get a lot of people that the numbers are not going to be as accurate. And data is critical. FAM CEO from IG, New York State. Should I stay in New York or should I change markets after first deal? A lot of my students in New York do New Jersey. They do virtual in all the surrounding states. It just depends on what you want to do. What I would suggest is find 3 markets that you want to test. Pull 300 to 500 addresses from each of them and call them and test it out. and see which one you're having better traction with. But yeah, I mean, if you're in, and it depends on where you're at in New York State. You know, some people are doing business in New York State, but if you're like in the city, yeah, it's a fist fight, and people have been offering on every single property in the city since, you know, the 1800s. So branch out. A lot of people go to New Jersey or surrounding states. Great question. Charles, Brent, I'm closing my first deal in 2 weeks. I double close, SMS lead, 25K, Rhino Nation from Philly. Charles, look at that beautiful family. I love it. Look at this. All right. That is amazing. That is amazing. Charles, do me a favor. Send a email to Alejandra@talktopeople.com. We're going to give you, give us your size. We're going to give you a gift bag with a bunch of dope stuff in. Huh? Yeah, address and sizes and all that. But email Alejandra. I want to send you some stuff. Congratulations. That is absolutely phenomenal. And 25K from a SMS.
It's kind of like EFTs.
It's like MFTs and
MFS.
MFS. Yeah. Congratulations, Charles. Really awesome. Thank you for sharing. We got a grab bag for you, brother. Awesome. Brandon. After I get a yes after my offer, what do I do next? Ask to meet up in person and have contract signed, or send contract with agreed price? Well, Brandon, it just depends. Remember, so the process, I love this whiteboard today. We're just going to go back to it. Sorry, Hunter. So remember that we need the 4 pillars, right? Condition, timeline, motivation, and price, right? This is what we need from them. So you want to get as many of these pre-qual out of the way as possible before you go on that appointment, because they might say, yes, I want to sell, but at what price, right? Yes, I want to sell, but how soon, right? So, and this is in order, Brandon, right? This is in order. When you talk about the condition of the property, opens up the conversation. This is very purposeful that I put it in this order, because you get the condition. What remodeling have you done to the kitchen and bathrooms in the last 5 years, right? What major remodeling have you done to the property in the last 5 years? If you had a magic wand and you could wave it and it would totally upgrade the house, where do you think the most work would go? Oh, okay, great. Any of these things, whatever you want to say there, right? But get the condition of the property. Okay, we typically close in 30 days. Does that work for you? Does it work to get your money in 30 days? Oh, it doesn't. Okay, when were you thinking about it? Oh, you don't want to sell until your daughter's out of the house. Oh, you don't want to sell until your tenant's done. Oh, you don't want to sell until you can fly out and clear out all your mom's stuff from the house, right? All of these things you need to know, because if you go on that appointment, Brandon, and they can't sell for 6 months and you just gave them an offer, guess what? You're now the baseline. You're now the lever. You're now the point where they start telling everybody, oh, we already have an offer, but if you can beat $237,000, we take a look at it, right? And then the motivation. Are they truly motivated? What is their stress? What is their problem? All motivation means is problem. Let me tell you something. There is not a deal that I've ever done that there hasn't been a problem. There has to be a problem. And let me explain to you something. A problem doesn't mean if I get the right offer, I'll sell. Now, sometimes you could, when you throw out a number that works, very rarely. But what is their problem? What is going on there? And the beautiful thing is, when you get the condition and the timeline, they tell you the motivation. It's bananas. It's like clockwork. You get the condition and time. My tenants have beat the hell out of my property. I want to sell this right now. In one sentence, you've got all of these. All of them. You got a tired landlord that doesn't want to deal with the property anymore. It's beat up, and they want to sell it today. One statement. You can get all those. The last one's this one. Ooh, tricky price. Or is it? Biggest deals that I've ever gotten. They've told me the price first. Every time. Every single time I've got a over $50,000 deal, they've given me the price first. If you give me this, it's yours. They do. So you get all this stuff. Okay, great. Well, how much do you want for it? You know, how much are you? What do you think you want for it? How much do you want to walk away? How much cash do you want to walk away with? What price makes sense to you? And then they tell you, or they say, well, I don't know. You tell me. But you got all these three. Okay, good. Go on that appointment. Seriously, go on that appointment. That's fine. If they want to hold this back, that's fine. Some people don't know. Some people just aren't close. So you can throw something. You can throw one of these out, right? One of these offers out if you want to kind of test the waters. And you test the waters like this. Hey, listen, Joe, I'm just looking around at the neighbors, what your neighbors are selling for in similar condition, and it looks like they're selling for $125,000. Is that kind of what you were thinking? Yeah, that's it sounds pretty close. $125,000? Are you kidding me? That's no. I want a minimum of $240,000. You just went through their condition, timeline, motivation. They want $240,000 for a property that the neighbors in similar condition are selling for $125,000. Is that reasonable? Can you get over that? Is it true? Do they really? Well, how'd you come up with $240,000? Well, I just blah, 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 blah. Okay, great. Confirm and approve, confirm and approve, confirm and approve. Totally understand. Have you thought about putting it on the market? Have you thought about listing it with a real estate agent? I don't want to do that. They just steal your money. They just steal your equity. They don't do anything. They just put it on the market and they don't do anything, and people go through the house, and then there's inspections, and then there's warranties, and they got all this other stuff. I just want to sell it as is. Okay, great. Well, if you want to sell it as is, we got to get closer to $125,000. Does that make sense? Blah, blah, blah. And typically you're not going to convince that person anyway, but we don't convince anybody. I mean, typically you're not going to be able to do business with that person because you can't convince anybody. You're not going to convince anybody to take a discount on their property. There's too much time for them to back out and change their mind and do whatever. It's not like that happens in a blink of an eye and you own a property. It goes through escrow, goes through title, goes through an attorney, right? So get that price out of them, and you've got all these things. The more you have on those, the more confident that you're going to be on that appointment.
Going back to Brandon, it sounds like he's doing or locking over the phone, right?
Yeah.
One thing that we do is if we already got, and you went through the pre-qualification process,
Yeah.
Condition, timeline, motivation, and price, and then you both agree on a price, keep them on the line and actually send them the contract right there and then and tell them, hey, listen, I'm going to send you the contract right now. The reason for it is because I want you to open the email while we're on the line, and that way you can answer any questions they may have. Because they're going to come back at you and say, hey, what about this clause? What about this right here? What about this other little thing? And if you have them on the line, it's still a continuous call, right? You don't have to worry about them not just ghosting you or whatnot, or not having questions and not coming to you for that. So if you have them on the phone, keep them on the phone. Send them the contract out, and then have them open it right there and then, and run through it along with them on the phone. Face to face, you always bring a contract with you.
Always. And listen, I like getting it. And by the way, now that I'm like digesting this after listening, if he's got a yes and they've agreed on price, terms, and working with him, remember, negotiating only comes down to three parts: price, terms, and you, right? Do they want to do business with you? That's it. That's what it all comes down to. If you want to, every negotiation book of all time, it comes down to those. It just does. So when you are, if they've agreed to that and they want to work with you, I would go meet them right now. I would say, listen, I would love to come out right now and put together the agreement. Are you available in the next hour? No. Do you prefer that we just do this over email? I prefer meeting you so that you know that we're real and we're going to be real connected for the next 30 days. So whatever you're comfortable with. If you don't want to meet, I understand, but at some point, I mean, we're going to have to get this agreement and then move forward. We're going to have to meet at some point. Or if you're doing virtual or whatever else, that's fine. But I'm telling you, if you put a human to human connection there, they usually stick around a lot longer. I mean, they throughout the whole process is what I mean. Not they stick around longer. They get to the finish line. You close the deal. Nice. Woo! Yes, you did. That is awesome. Let's go. I am excited. You are going to absolutely crush it. You better be going through that course. Better be setting everything up. I want to get some text soon, comping some properties and seeing these deals that you're doing. So I'm excited. Welcome. Oh yeah, Matt. There we go. 10K vacant lot on Monday. Here we go. Here we go. Vacant lot. Don't sleep on vacant lots.
10K from empty land.
That is awesome.
Wow.
Vacant land, 10K. That's it. Listen, you got to get them low on these on vacant land. They either want nothing or they want 10 times what it's worth. So find the people that just want to stop paying property taxes for nothing. I mean, typically you're not getting rent for vacant land unless it's storage or something. So yeah, awesome. Milton, with a monthly budget of 3 to 4K, where should you spend your money on? Here it is. ttpdata.com. That's PropStream. ttpdata.com. Every serious investor uses it. It's 99 or 97, 97 a month. Deal Machine. TTP code to get it $10 off, so it's I think $50. You can upgrade, and they've got a bunch of different upgrades that you can do there. But for the base one, it's $50, so you're $150. Okay, you pull your lists of, let's say that you're doing this full time. Let's say that you're going to be making calls. Let's say that you're going to be reaching out, saying that you're going to be proactive. So you need your phone numbers of those properties. Typically, the numbers, real quick, are you can call 50 addresses an hour. Okay, that's typically about 100. Putting dollar signs on everything. 150 calls if you're using a dialer. Okay. So you've got 150, so 50 addresses. So if you're going to call, you should only call through a list twice. After that, the contact rate drops off. So if you've got 50 addresses and you can get through an hour, right? And you can get through that. So you're calling through, and you've got, let's say you're going to call through for 3 hours a day, right? You're going to call 3 hours a day. That means you need 150 addresses a day. That means that you need 750 per week for fresh, and you can go through that twice. And then move on. So if you go through that twice, that's 2 weeks, right? And then you can do that. You got 2 more weeks, so you need another 750. So if you get 1,500 addresses a month, and that is, you're going to times that by point. What's the discount with TTP for batch skip tracing? 14 cents? 14 cents. 1,500 by 15 is $200-ish, right? So you got 3 to 4K. What I would say is keep your 3 to 4K. I mean, you could do other things. I mean, you can get into batchleads.io. You can do the text blasting as long as you have enough phone numbers and you're skip tracing enough phone numbers. You can get into those two things. But I would save a ton of money and get real profitable real fast and start building your pipeline by just picking up the phone and calling them. And I mean, for an extra $150 for batchleads.io plus 3 cents a text. If you really want to ball her out, then you send 1,000 of those texts a day. So that's $30 a day times 20 days is $600. Plus the $200, and let's just round it up to $200 for batch leads. So that's $800. So now you're at less than $1,500, less than $1,300, and you're going crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, if you're dropping money into marketing too, make sure that you have a good process of managing those leads that are going to be coming in. Especially if you're doing SMS, you're going to get hit with that. You're going to get hit with results from cold calling. Find a way so that the leads don't fall through the cracks. I mean, it's very important. Otherwise, your marketing dollars are just going to waste.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And have a goal. Is it possible to close a deal on just one cold call? No warm lead, just cold lead. Yeah, I mean it's possible to call. Yeah, we've closed on one call. Absolutely, absolutely. Does it happen often? No, absolutely not.
Exception, not the norm.
Yeah, it's definitely an exception, not the norm. Because I mean, listen, if you find somebody that's at that very moment ready to sell their property, and you're like, okay. Like, look at all that's going on here, Dario, and I feel like you're a model or something. Look at this guy. He's a cowboy hat model. This is a handsome guy. Anyway,
he's got to be riding a horse. It can't be like
he's
a bike.
got to be. He's got to be a horseback. Yeah, absolutely. So anyway, Dario. The chance that you could call somebody, they're ready to sign a contract. You put together the contract. You put it into the DocuSign. You send it to their email. They sign it right there while you're on the phone with them. And it's a good deal, and it's at a price that you want, and you believe the condition of the property that it's in just based on Google Maps or what they're describing the condition as, and it still makes sense from a financial standpoint. Is it possible? Sure. Just not probable. You know, most people, need some time. Most people want to know who they're selling it to. But listen, the most motivated sellers will do it. You know, why not? Go out and do it, Dario, and then tell us about it. That'd be awesome. Hey, Brent, me and my partner have closed $50K worth of deals in just a few months, 20 years old, all virtual work in Tampa, Florida.
Rob,
here we go. Come on, Rob.
Bam!
Rob. That is incredible. I love it. Congratulations. 50K worth of deals, just a few months. Listen, the future's bright, brother. The future's bright. Just keep doing what you're doing and make sure this. How much do you want to take home? That's the conversation you need to have with any partnership. How much do you each individually want to take home in real dollars every month, every year, right? What is that number? And then from that, then you start working on your goals. Then you start understanding your expenses. Then you start going after all these things, right? What does it cost you to get those things? What's the cost of doing business? What are you netting per deal? And then how do you make sure that you're hitting the goals? Because listen, a lot of people, and I've said this a million times on here, most business partners go, well, we'll pay each other $3,000 a month and we'll put everything else into the business. We'll pay ourselves $5,000 a month and we'll put everything into the business. It creates terrible discipline. I'm telling you, because when you have 60K, or let's say that you guys are doing that, and you're leaving 30K in your business account or whatever, and you're paying yourself just a little bit, and you're growing this, you go, oh, we got 30K, let's hire somebody. Oh, we got 30K, let's try out this new mailer that puts a price on the mailer, and when they call you, it's a done deal, and or that we're going to go into this internet leads, and we're going to do this, and then you give it all back, and you have nothing. You have nothing. I would rather you build your business off of your voice, your talent, your phone, your leads, and bring that money home and buy assets. Go buy real estate with it. Go pay off all your debts. Pay off all the consumer debt, all that interest that's pulling you down. There's no sense in making $50,000 and you take it home and you're paying it all into interest. It's ridiculous. On top of taxes? Come on. That's not building wealth. You need to buy assets. You need to be able to invest that money. There needs to be enough left over for you and your family. Well, Brent, I want to buy these rental properties with my partner. Great. That's a different business. That's a whole different business. You want to stay lean personally? Great. I love it. Great. And buy asset, but invest in assets. Put the money into something that you know you can't lose. That's a smart entrepreneur. That's somebody that's building wealth. That's not just somebody that's going, oh, well, I'm going to just cold call for the first 90 days, make 60 grand, 70 grand, 100 grand, and then I'm going to hire 1,000 people to do it for me, and I'm going to do this and this and this, and then all of a sudden it goes, whoomp, and all that money's given back. It happens every day. Every day. So figure out how much you want to take, how much you want to invest, how much you want to take off the table, and then reverse engineer it. Profit first. It's the profit first model. It's right here. This thing is incredible. David Richter literally wrote it for us. Literally. It's a good book. Great book.
It's that, and it really ties back into the habits, man. I think it creates great habits for, you know, allocating that profit.
Yep.
And then finding out where the health of your business is. I mean, you can't, if you implement that kind of stuff, you're not going to be, you can't lie to yourself about where you're at in business.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's it. Awesome. Congrats, Rob. Keep it going, brother. Elevated CEO. What do I do to elevate in wholesaling with very little capital, a lot of grit, with not a lot of cash buyers? Please help. How can I find great cash buyers in Tennessee? So first of all, squatting up is number one. Number two is TTP Insider, Cash Buyer Pack. The Cash Buyer Pack in TTP Insider is literally a step-by-step how you get the top 100 cash buyers in your market. So make sure that it's free, it's a download, it's a PDF, you can download it, you can start taking action right away in building that cash buyer database. But listen, it starts with what are you selling them, right? Like, you don't, as long as you have enough, as long as you have something to sell investors, they're going to chomp at the bit to try to buy that deal. They're going to come out and find it. They're going to do whatever they can to get that deal. So first, focus on that lead generation. I love that you want to build your cash buyer database. You need to, absolutely. But get a deal. Focus on the deal. Most of your time should be focused on finding an opportunity. Because you can talk to cash buyers till you're blue in the face, but if you don't have anything to bring to them, the most legit dudes and gals in your area, they don't care. They're like, yeah, bro, do you have something for me? Do you have something for me? Do you want me to look at something? What, you just want to like have a conversation? Like I'm doing deals over here. Bring a deal to them and you'll win. So the cash buyer pack is really designed so that you can reach out to those buyers as you have a deal. But you need to have a deal. Find the deal. Find the deal. Love it. Hey, Brent, could I do a wholesale deal from the MLS? Market price is $330K, but she could go down to $285. Robert. So the ARV is, so they're listed at what the ARV is. But the ARV is after repair value. How much repairs does it need, Robert? How much repairs? To me, when I see $330K and it's on the market and it's not selling, I need to be way under that. In this market, with these interest rates, with this supply and demand, right now, my voice is going to go high. No, but it's $330K and nobody's buying it, so they're at least 10% high. So it should be 300. And so if 300 is really what, at the minimum, and that's on the market. If it needs a lot more repairs, if the ARV is if it's in perfect condition, you can get it for $285. There might be something there, but probably not. I'd probably be closer to $260. If it's beautiful, maybe $270. Beautiful, something that I can easily move. But that's too tight, brother. Way too tight. If it needs some work, $45K is nothing.
Yeah, and one thing to understand about the MLS, right? It's there's deals in there. They're sporadic. There's some deals in there. Usually they go away. If they're wholesale deals, they'll go away within a day or two.
Yeah.
They go fast. Now, once a property is up on the MLS for a certain price, it gets stigmatized. People attach that value to that property, and it doesn't matter if it's if you have comps in the, for example, this property, if you have it at 330, right, and you have comps in the 350 range, anybody who looks at that deal is going to be looking at it from a 330 ARV standpoint because that's how it was out there.
Yep.
So it's one, properties in the MLS can get stigmatized. That deals usually, if they're deals, true deals, they're going to leave. They're going to go fast.
Gone.
Yeah. So it's. I mean, I think that one might be one of those things where you consider it for, I don't know, 5 minutes and then move on to the next deal.
Yeah. Offer them
Yeah.
250. You know, I mean, listen, if you go 33% of that, you're in the low twos, and that's where I would be at. I mean, it depends on how much work it needs. The principles still remain the same. You still need to get it at a discount. Michael Dean, TTP is legit, made almost 90K. Boom. That's right. There it is. There's this. Sadly, I watched too many channels and fell flat trying to do everything. That's it. Michael, talk to people, baby. You know it. He knows it. 90K. I'm still getting it. Here we go.
Take it old school, Mike. Take it old school. Keep it basic.
I mean, and you know what? It's really interesting, and I bring this up for a point. When I am in a certain thing, like the goals that I want to accomplish, right? And I'm in a certain lane. That's the word I'm trying to look for. I find people that are the best at that, and that's all I listen to. That's all I watch. That's all that boom, boom, boom. Because there's too many. There's too many people taking other things and regurgitating it in their own world. There's too many people putting their own ego into things. There's too many people that come from a much higher budget for their business, and they have opportunity to do some other things, or they have a different plan of attack on going after properties that are real rural or real out in the middle of nowhere where it's easier to lock up, but you cancel a lot more deals. Like, just stay in this lane. I am telling you, I will never do anything that doesn't put you in the position to win faster and bigger. That's it. That's my purpose, in my professional purpose in life.
Well, I mean, what they're getting is tried and tested stuff, right? It's not theory. It's
No.
stuff that we're actually implementing in the businesses.
Yeah.
So it's try it and test it. I mean,
Yeah.
I think that's one of the biggest
Well,
things.
that's why I try to, I want to bring on the team as often as possible.
Yeah.
Ryan's here all the time. You're here, Mike's here. Like, this is real life. This isn't just, a show we put on and then we, just go back and powder our face and do some other promotion of something. This is what we do all day. You know what I mean? This has been my life for 17 years.
There's no pretending.
No.
Somebody, I can't remember the name, but somebody in the last live said, you guys are a bunch of great people, and because we're vulnerable.
Yeah.
Well, it's about being real, right?
Yeah.
It's about putting out stuff that really makes a difference. And okay, this is really how it works.
Yeah.
Setting expectations.
Yeah.
But yeah.
In El Paso, Texas, I find distressed properties, but I find little to no comps. Yeah. The problem with Texas is it's a non-disclosure state, first of all. Yeah, and then it just depends on how far out you are. What I would say is PropStream does a really good job of pulling together as much information as they can. That's ttpdata.com. And a lot of it, it's interesting. A lot of it is when I'm comping in Texas, Raf, it is, one, looking specifically in the neighborhood, what's going on. But two, the advantage PropStream has is it's got access to the MLS. So you get a look at the active pendings. And that's really what I'm basing a lot of my judgments on, is what's on the market right now, how long it's been on the market, what's pending right now. And that really helps out a lot. So that would be my advice. If you don't have that, find somebody that does have PropStream, TTP data, or Yeah, you're going to have to, the other thing, just for a free, if you just have no budget, you're going to have to call real estate agents in the area. You literally go to realtor.com. You go to search real estate agents. You put in the zip code or your city, and then find the agents that work in that area and just say, hey, listen, I'm buying this property here. I'm interested to know. I don't know what it will go for once it's fixed up. I'd love to get your expertise. If I totally fix up this property, what would it go for? It's just an extra call, just an extra person to talk to. Listen, this is the fact. I'm going to go off on a tangent for just a second here.
Ooh, tangents are fun.
The more people you talk to, the quotes luckier you are. And that's the absolute truth. And people will call you lucky, but it's not luck at all. I mean, it's very purposeful. But the more people you talk to, the luckier you are. That's it. That's it. That's why I say be loud on social media. Post. Document your story. Tell people the struggles that you're going through. Tell people about the properties that you're looking at. Tell them about comping. Tell them about whatever, driving for dollars. Tell them about everything, right? That exposes you to a lot more people that are going to see that. Maybe it's 100 people. Maybe it's 80 people. Maybe it's 8. It's 8 more than you did before. And then from there, you have the ability, we have the ability in this country to pick up the phone and pretty much call anybody that's not a celebrity, apparently. You can't do that, but anybody that and have a conversation with them about real estate. I mean, the more people you talk to, the luckier you are. That's the whole thing. Everything will come from that. That's why I wear the same shirt every day. That's why I'm like trying to scream from the rooftop, talk to people, talk to people, talk to people. Because the luckier you are, the more value you can provide. That's it. You just get more opportunities. That's what lucky is. It's an opportunity. So you get more opportunities to win, which means you have more opportunities to serve your community, which means you have more opportunities to get the income that is equal to the value you provide. Boom. I've never gone 11 slides. 12 slides. 12 slides. That is, we are cooking.
That's very
we
smart.
Are cooking today.
12 slides.
Yeah. There you go. Duke Allen. Brent, I closed my first deal 2 weeks ago for $3K. Second $10K is closing the first week of January. All of this info from your videos and free TTB Insider, all from Driving for Dollars and cold calling. 13,000. Come on. Here we go.
Starting the year off right. That's what's up, Duke.
I love it, Duke.
Good stuff.
Congratulations. I assume that there's probably a dead animal underneath you there in that picture. It looks like you might be hunting. Maybe not. Maybe you're like a night cyclist or something. But congratulations. I think Duke Allen is probably the best hunting name of all time. Duke, don't know if you hunt, Duke, but that's the greatest hunting name
Duke
of all
should
time.
write a book on hunting.
Jeez,
or fishing.
Louise. That's
one of the two.
We're having fun, but congratulations. I mean, absolutely incredible. I'm telling you, this isn't some code that you can't figure out, you can't break, you can't decipher, right? Just follow the path. It's all there. It's all laid out for you. You want to be in my world. You want to be in the coaching. You want to be with me, with my hands in your business. That's the coaching. You want to just go into TTB Insider and get all the resources and tools and guide and just go and make 13K. Boom, or 60K or 90K or 100, whatever, millions. I want you to win. That's it. Go win. Take the tools. Win. That's awesome. And Duke's winning. Congratulations, brother. That's awesome. You know what? I think that now that I'm looking at it, it looks like a camelback. You know, one of those backpacks with the little tube. So maybe he's not hunting. But I'm gonna say he's hunting. Yeah, he might be fishing. That's the same thing. Jason Harris, how do you deal with sellers who are very dry and short with you, even with building rapport? Yeah, you have. Well, I'm going to leave this to Raph. I'm going to leave it because he is literally a clinical psychologist. So go ahead.
All right. How do you deal with sellers who are very dry and short with you? Even with building rapport. Understand that people communicate differently. If you have somebody who's very short and very dry, they're either going to be somebody who's supportive type or analytical type, one of the two. All right, and they if they're supportive, they're going to be people oriented. So you're going to read, the conversation based on feelings. Okay, they're going to drop a lot of feeling type words, and somebody who's analytical, they're going to be task oriented. So. How you deal with them is you just first off you have to understand that even if they're being dry, it's not necessarily towards you. Okay, it's just the way they process it. Think of Steven Seagal. Like that guy is, this is the Steven, the happy.
That's a rough reference.
Yeah, Steven Seagal. This is happy, and then this is mad.
Yeah,
and then this is something else.
Yeah.
Right. But the same phase doesn't mean the guy is mad or pissed off at you. It's just how they are.
Yeah.
Understand that it's not you. So they may be having a party in the back of their heads. But they're not just representing in the conversation. Understand that much, especially if you're a high social type of person who likes to interact a lot. Understand that that's how they communicate. Two, you have to go to their level. Okay, communicate the way they do. So if you're super active, and dial it down a little bit, get more monotone on your conversation instead of spiking and dropping and being all animate like. High D's or high I's usually are. Dial it down a little bit. It's going to build better rapport and connection with them. And if they start mirroring you, whenever they start mimicking your body language, not you theirs, but they start mimicking your body language, you know that you have a subconscious connection. There's something happening there for rapport.
Yep.
Yeah.
Love it. Luis, should I go virtual since I'm living in North Jersey where houses are through the roof? Well, I mean, there's a couple different strategies there, right? Like the higher priced properties, and we've been seeing this a lot in our market here in Scottsdale in an area called Paradise Valley, where, the turnover of those, yes, there's a lot of competition. Yes, they are more savvy sellers. They want to get their most out of it. But if the property's rough, and there's a big potential there, and there's opportunity to do like an add-on, right? To really build in the equity with like literally expanding or making the property bigger. There's potential there that you can go after. You can pick specific properties. I would probably pick the 1,000 worst houses in North Jersey and just focus on those in addition to getting another market. Yeah, going virtual and finding another market, that's fine. But I would be obsessed with the top 1,000, and you would be surprised if you did 10 of those deals in your market in a year, not even one a month, but you're averaging $40K a deal. I think that's reasonable in those price points. $50K a deal? Like, it just depends. It just depends on if you want to be a specialist that really crushes and really understands and really builds rapport for the worst 1,000 properties over years and time, and you're nurturing it and you're talking to them and you're keeping it, and you pop 10 to 15 to 20 deals a year, but you make 4 or 5, $1 million. Happens all the time. It happens all the time. So I wouldn't sleep on it. I would definitely test that out. I never get scared when people go, oh, you can't do business here, or it's too hard there, or there's too much congestion here, or there's, people out market you there, whatever. Okay, great. Let me test it. Test it. You won't know for sure. It's going to always nag you in the back of your head, Luis, if you're like, oh, okay, well, I'm going to go to a different market because I've heard it's too crazy over here and everybody rejects you. You need 10 people, 10 out of all the people you talk to throughout the year to do business with you. Right? Like, break it down. What's the average deal size? And listen, if you're bringing in $40K a month, that's a nice life. that opens up a lot of doors.
It's nothing to complain at.
Yeah.
Find a way to become the go-to person, right? Especially if in a competitive market, become the go-to person for those 1,000 properties.
Yep.
Either if a campaign is that small, you can also try direct mail. Just put yourself in front of them in different types of ways. Any vehicle that you can think of.
I would do direct mail. I would
do
direct message. I would do not door knock. I would call them. I would text them. I would leave notes. I would do handwritten mailers. I would do everything to try to have a conversation with them. And if they reject you and they hate you and they tell you to whatever, go die or whatever, then call them back in 90 days.
Yeah, lead
You know
with
what I'm
value.
saying?
Lead with value in
Like,
anything that you do.
call them back.
Be the
Just
go-to
be
person.
like, hey, didn't die yet, but was still calling you about 1212 Banana Street, so.
Do you need a fruit basket?
Do you need a fruit? Let's close with this. Everybody. Come on up, team. Gilberto closed $26K from a FSBO. For sale by owner in Cali, TTP. Here we go, guys. Ooh. Congratulations. Let me ring this bell.
That's
here.
a bell.
There
That's a
go.
bell, my friend. Gilberto,
Come on in,
job.
come on in,
Great
come on
job.
in. Guys, thank you so much for joining us for the last 2 hours. Remember, write down your goals. Write it down as if you've already accomplished them in those 6 things. If you're just jumping on, go to the very beginning of this, rewatch it. It is so important that you take action on this. And wait, come here. I didn't say who. Come on, what are you doing? What are you doing? All right. On behalf of Alejandra, who literally just did everything for the show, she was on my phone texting. She was responding to Instagram. She was responding to all the comments, switching the camera angles and the microphone. MVP and awesome. Aaron, the new guy here, audio, get ready for him. It's going to be absolutely incredible. Of course, we got Daniel Walker and Rafael Cortez. We love you guys. Remember, keep your house clean, protect your health, and increase your value to the world, and you'll live a phenomenal life. I love you. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Boop.